Hey guys, it is me, Javon Frazier, your guiding light, and I am coming to you with our first ever Storytime edition. So, if you are new to my channel, if you are new to me, let me just say welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Again, my name is Javon Frazier. I am an author, a speaker, and a coach. And I work with women like yourselves or women like who you may know who have gone through situations and they're trying to make the best of their lives. I teach women how to love themselves, how to get their coins, how to just live a best life. I believe every woman is a diamond, every woman is a gem, and my job is to help you shine. So today's story time is all about how I became a stripper. Yes, me. I think it was back in, let me see, 2000. First of all, let me just say, because I'm not going to assume that everybody knows me. So, like I said, I grew up in a very religious home. Everybody from my mother, grandparents, great-grandparents, aunts, uncles, they're either preachers, ministers, deacons, something in the church. I myself even started speaking when I was 10 years old. I started preaching when I was 10. I used to dance in church. I used to sing. My entire life was church, right? So fast forward to me being 6 years old. I was sexually abused by my youth pastor. And as a result, I made some not so great choices. One of them being becoming a stripper. Okay, so you guys up to speed? You with me now? We're here. Don't worry. If you stick to me, you want to know more about all of that I just, skim past, check out other videos. It's more to come. We'll get to know each other on a more intimate basis later. But for now, this is all about how I became a stripper. So, I had my first son when I was 19. And, of course, young mother, single mother, I needed to make some money. Like, welfare just wasn't cutting it. So I was sitting at my house. It was myself, my mom, and my best friend at the time. And we were going through, like, the newspaper. We were trying to find, ads for jobs. And I saw this ad that says, make $1,000 a week as a waitress. And I was like, as a waitress? Like, wait a second. Because I used to work at, what was that place called? Hooters, prior to having my son. And I made really good money at Hooters. Like, really, really good money. It's not what people think it is. It's not like the titty bar. It's like, we'll get into that in another story. Like I said, subscribe, come back, let's chat. We'll get deeper later. So I had already been a waitress at Hooters, which in the church world in my life was like, oh my gosh, she used to work at Hooters. Like, oh. So to me, being a waitress at a strip club was like the next step. Like, it wasn't that big of a deal. And I remember my mom saying, like, no, you're not going to do it. Can't remember verbatim, but I just remember her saying, like, at first we were joking about it. Like, girl, yeah, go ahead and apply, blah, 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 blah. So as a matter of fact, no, I think my mom was in on it at that time. Like, we were all joking, me, her, and my friend was like, yeah, we're gonna go get that job. Like, I'm about to get this money, $1,000. Yes, let's do it. So I go apply, I get the job. It was typical, it wasn't what I thought it would be. My first night as a waitress, it wasn't scary. Like, I remember working there, getting there before it all got into the nightlife, and I met all the managers. There was this one manager who was really, really nice. Actually, they were all nice. Let me just say, all of the managers were nice. It wasn't what I thought. It wasn't what I saw on TV. The DJ at the time, I would never ever forget. I walked into his DJ booth, introduced myself. He introduced himself, and he said, "Do you see that little boy?" And it was a picture of his son in the back of the DJ booth. And he was like, that's my pride and joy. That's why I'm here. I'm not here to disrespect you. I'm not here to make you feel uncomfortable. Like, I'm working for my son. I'm married. I have a family. Like, we're all family. You're going to be safe. Like, it was a very family-oriented place. Like, yes, the strip club was cool. It wasn't raunchy people. It wasn't like what you saw in the Players Club. And then again, I worked at a gentleman's club, which might be different. I don't know. But it wasn't what I expected. So for my first night as a waitress was pretty cool. I made good money. The dancers were all very nice. Like, everybody was just super, super cool. And then a couple nights making money. And there was one night. My mom, gotta love her, she was like, how much do you plan on making tonight? And I was like, why? Now, mind you, I'm still a waitress at this point. I'm a waitress. She was like, how much do you plan on making? And I was like, why? And she was like, because the light bill is due. And I was like, I don't know. How much do we need? She tells me how much we need. I go to work. I make $11. Like, 1. Like, 10 plus 1. $11 that night. Saturday night. One of the busiest nights. And I was like, well, this isn't going to cut it. So that night at the end of my shift, because then as a waitress too, like, you had to like split your money. You had to pay like the bartender, and it was a whole bunch of different hands in the pot. So after divvying up everything that I owed, I walked out of there with $11. So I remember going to the manager and I'm like, yo, I want to dance. Like, I'm seeing the girls, money is falling. Like, and the club that I worked in, like I said, it was a gentleman's club, so there were no, like, we didn't get butty ball naked. It was just a topless bar. It's in North Carolina. North Carolina, you couldn't get fully nude. So I was like, I could do this. Like, long as my Alpha and Omega was being covered, I could do it. So I go to the manager and I'm like, yo, I want to dance. And he was like, no, you don't. Because, again, I'm 19. You see how I look now? I'm 31 now, okay? I looked even younger at 19. And he's like, no, you don't. And I was like, yes, I do. Yes, I do. So he's like, all right, we'll try you out tomorrow, Sunday night. And because Sundays were dead. Sundays were like the regulars, people who just come in for a drink, people who just, come in to chill. It wasn't like a, pop-in Saturday night, Friday night, dollars flying. Sunday was like low key. Sundays and Tuesdays. So I go to the spot where all the girls bought their uniforms from in town. And I pick out all these outfits. Like, I get like the schoolgirl, stuff that I thought would be sexy, like the ones with the nipple out and the schoolgirl outfit, and I get all these different things, like trying to be a stripper, And I remember going home and like showing my mother. My mother was like, nope, you're not wearing that. Nope, you're not wearing that. Nope, you're not. And I'm like, I'm 19, but I still live with my mom. So I get to the club, and my best friend at the time, she came with me my first night, and I was so nervous. Like, what was my drink that night? What was it called? Not the apple martini. I forgot. Because that was like my signature drink for a really, really long time. Anyway. So I got a drink. And I'm like tossing them back. Getting my liquid courage on. And I get on stage. And it's dead. Right? It's like the beginning of the night. Maybe about 5 customers and the manager and the DJ and my best friend. And I did it. And it was cool. I made like $20. I kind of think I made money on that dance just because people felt sorry. Because, of course, the DJ announced, like, we got a new girl, blah, blah, blah. It's her first time, da, da, da. So maybe that's why I made some money. Because it really wasn't like I didn't do pole tricks. I wasn't like, it literally... I literally just walked around the pole and shook a little bit, walked around, showed a little, like, it was crazy. So anyway, so fast forward, I kept doing it. I made more money. I danced for 5 years, and I loved it. Like, how some people say, oh, I'm so ashamed of what I did. I'm really not ashamed. Some of the best times, like, I became a woman at that club. Like, I was introduced to things that I probably never would have been introduced to. Again, subscribe. We'll talk about all that stuff later. But, like, my courage and my sense of, like, self-worth was developed in the strip club. Now I know that sounds crazy because of what you see on TV and what you may think, but honestly, like, it was such a, I worked with such a great group of women. Like, we had like a couple little hood chicks. We had a couple ones that was there doing stuff that they shouldn't have been doing. You know what I'm saying? That turned it into, or tried to turn it into the Players Club. But everybody was on the same page. We're all here to make money, have a good time, go home. I remember this one girl, and I'm still friends with her to this day. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. She looked at me and she was just like, don't get stuck. Don't get caught up. Know why you're here. Make your money and go. And that's what I did. Now, like I said, I did get sucked up for quite some time. There are some things that I did. I'm not going to say that I'm not proud of, because I am, because it made me who I am today. And it's the reason why I'm your guiding light and I can help you. Because again, there is nothing that you can say that you've done that I haven't done, tried, experienced, went, got the t-shirt, rode the ride, wrote the book. Literally did write the book. It's called The Hidden Jewel. Go get that. But for the most part, like I said, me developing as a woman, my sense of style, knowing what I like and what I don't like, knowing, you know, how to handle different men, not being played, just knowing what to look for, my sense of business, you know what I'm saying, knowing how to make money, and my selling skills, like, all of that came from the strip club. Like, I kid you not, like, if you can't sell yourself as a stripper, you can't sell anything, period. So me being a great businesswoman, all of that came from the strip club. And like I said, I danced for 5 years. I have lived, as Wendy Williams would say. Like, y'all, I could tell you some stories, met some people, traveled the world, did some things. That's coming later. But, yeah, I had a couple of scary experiences, you know, but for the most part, I do not regret my time at that club. I don't regret the decisions that I made. I don't look down on anybody who has done it or may still be doing it, you know, as long as you know what you're doing it for. And we'll talk about that later. Like, you know, if you just out here and you just doing it because you think the life is glamorous and you want to make money, I'm not here for it. But, you know, me, I was a single mother. And not only was I a single mother, but I had 2 little sisters and my mom, who was a single mother, that I was helping out. So for me, like, I was doing it for my family. I was doing it because to go to college. As a matter of fact, I did start college. I didn't finish that time. But yeah, I was putting myself through school. Like, I didn't want to be on welfare. Like, what I was getting from WIC and what I was getting from food stamps was not enough to help me, my son, my mother, my sisters. And so I did what I did. Like I said, the club was clean. The managers, everybody was it was a great experience. And if I'm honest, and I am, because that's the only way I know how to be, like, I would still go just to have a good time, like, just to, you know, see the girls or learn a few tricks from my husband, because I am married now. But I mean, again, I don't look down on anybody who's dancing. So if you know somebody that is a dancer, an entertainer, because I never called myself a stripper, I always called myself an entertainer, because I provided the fantasy. Like, while you were with me, Jules coming to the stage shining like a diamond, it is Jules. When you were in my presence, you had a good time. It was, you forgot about bills, you forgot about whatever. So I always consider myself an entertainer. That is what I do. My job was to provide the fantasy, to make you forget about whatever was going on outside of these walls for however much time we had together. Now, I would always start by saying, well, we'll talk about that at another time too. I'm so silly. I'm just kidding. But yeah, so I go back to my original point of what I was saying. Like, if you know somebody that's a dancer or that may have danced in their past, like, don't judge them. Don't look at them funny, because I'm telling you what, most of the girls that I worked with were in law school, were mothers, were putting their way through college, were taking care of their elderly parents. Like I said, we had a couple of bad apples, but for the most part, every single girl that I worked with in the span of those 5 years, I still have the utmost respect for. Like, they are doing some amazing things. They are amazing mothers. I myself have gone on, I've written 4 books. Like I said, I'm a coach. I have a great job. I have a couple of businesses, great friends. I have a wonderful husband, 2 beautiful kids. So, like, that's not the end of it. If you decide that, you know, right now you're having a hard time and you need to go make some coins, that doesn't have to be everything. And I know in today's society, like, we see the Cardi B's and the Jocelyn Hernandez, and it's either like, you know, they glorifying the strip life and or stereotyping, but everybody's not like that. Like, what you see on TV is not real life. It really isn't. Most of the girls in the club, they are there for a specific reason, and they know what their reasons are, and they're there to make their money and go home. And for the ones that's not, those are the ones that we need to be reaching out to, that we need to be helping. So I say all this to say, like, don't judge, because you don't know what their story is. And not everybody who starts off like a stripper ends up how you think they're going to end up. I'm just saying. And if you are still in the club, there is a way out. There is more to life than what you see and what you're doing right now. And not even saying that they're in a negative way, because you may absolutely be having the time of your life. I had the time of my life. I lived. I traveled. I did some things, met some people. But there is more to it. Like, invest your money. Just make the most of your time. Make smart decisions. And I'm going to end it there, because I'll be here all day. There's so much that we can talk about, and we will talk about it. So if you have enjoyed this episode of Storytime, if you want to know more about me and how I went from the pole to the promise, if you want to know more about me as your guiding light, you want to know more about my experiences with sexual abuse, be sure to subscribe, because there is so much more in store for me to share with you guys, and I cannot wait. Love you all. Bye.